Hello, I'm Gary YouTube, joined by a brand new, spanking Gary YouTube, and we're here with no malice in our veins. If you loved Hulk Hogan or if you loathed Hulk Hogan, one thing we can all agree on is that Hulk Hogan was a generational liar, so we're here to celebrate the lies of Hulk Hogan here today by putting them in a tier list, ranking from the worst of all the lies, or best, depending on your perspective, where we say he's off his effing nut. So bad it's tremendous. You've tried, but you might as well not have bothered, Terry, or just get out of town, Terry. It's a rubbish lie. Why have you bothered?
I am so excited for it. I mean, thoughts and prayers, but wrestling is based on lies.
Yeah.
Wrestlers are inherently liars. They're lying about the fact that they're in a big fight and it's all not predetermined. And it is funny that Hogan has become the liar. But then you look at the stuff he said and you go, oh, this reputation is well-deserved.
Yeah, we have 24 of the biggest whoppers here today. Some have lies on lies on lies. Some are just a lie. Most of these come from Alan Cheapshot on Twitter, who put together a massive thread a few years ago. Some are more recent in terms of when they happened. But we'll kick things off, Matthew. Hogan said he used to fight Pride fighters in the 70s. Pride Fighting Championships was founded in 1997. I would argue it's not the biggest lie we'll hear today, but it's still a very funny one nonetheless.
There are a bunch of stuff Hogan said over the years where I'm like, oh, he's confusing this with this. Reality and fiction.
Yeah.
No, Dougal, those Pride fighters are far away. Those Pride fighters are very small. I have no idea what he's talking about. None whatsoever.
That's one thing I've learned today by putting this little collection of lies together, is the fact that his lies, most of them, not really this Pride one, doesn't count for this one, but most of them are based, there's a little snippet of reality.
Right.
You're going to think like he was in that place at that time, so this could have happened. But then you try and read the context around what he said, and you just realize it just couldn't have happened.
No, he fought Japanese wrestlers in the 70s, yes. Northern Wrestling for Pride. So maybe he can't remember the names of the companies he worked for.
Do you want it to get out of town, Terry, to kick things off? Like, why does he bother to say this?
Yeah, right, that's another. Yeah, you know what? That's a good one to start off with, yes.
Put it in the bottom there. Number 2, Hogan claimed that both Metallica and the Rolling Stones wanted him as their bass player, but Metallica member Lars, the lad on the drums, of course, came to Hogan himself asking him to play with the group. We have to say, of course, in the years that came after this lie, Lars himself has addressed it and said that unless Hulk Hogan was going by his Christian name at the time, which of course he would have been, but he's basically saying he doesn't recognize the name or the face. He's never seen this man before in his life. It never happened.
Yeah, I love the way he's put that. I didn't know about the Rolling Stones, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, when?
I don't know. I didn't see that one, but yeah,
right.
We always see the Metallica story, but then also the Rolling Stones are thrown there as well together.
It's hilarious because, again, a lot of these lies are completely unprompted. Like, again, we obviously know some time scale for when the Metallica would need a new bassist, because R.I.P. Cliff Burton. Mm-hmm. But then it's like Hogan was a giant star at that point. It's what, you're just going to quit the wrestling business, become a bassist for Metallica?
Maybe it was before Cliff. Maybe it was in the 70s.
Oh, I haven't thought about that. Yeah, just as an upcoming thrash metal band.
So I think Hogan got in the wrestling business in 77, which we'll get onto with another one of his porcupines later on. So maybe he was going to be the original Cliff.
Yeah, not enough people talk about Metallica's 70s run. The hell? I mean, yeah, just a staggeringly unbelievable lie. Because most people put 2 and 2 together and go, it must be after Cliff. Like, all right, and like it's X Factor. And the next person to come in, Hulk. What?
Do you reckon he's off his effing nut when he's saying this one? We're going straight at the top as well.
That should be you should have put it in twice. Just nonchalantly saying the Rolling Stones. Okay, cool. And just again, Lars saying, like, that's amazing.
Fantastic. I do wish it would happen though. Just a one-off gig. Oh, it can't happen. Yeah. Oh, bollocks. You know what I mean? I wish it did happen once. Oh, Goodness me. Slip of the tongue there.
Just reminded a great video, by the way, seeing if like Hogan could even play bass and was able to find footage of him doing it, going, oh, he can play.
Oh, he was in a band.
Yeah.
Yeah, who were big in Florida, apparently, back in the 70s. Up that band, I've forgotten the name of them. Anyway,
the Wrestling Boot Band.
More on that later on. Yeah. In Hulk Hogan's autobiography, he made claim that Elvis was a huge fan before Hogan joined the WWF, we should say. He did work in Memphis in 1977. However, Elvis also died in 1977, 6 days after Hogan's debut as the Super Destroyer. So Hogan wasn't even Hogan yet. He was the Super Destroyer, and 6 days passed before Elvis passed away. But he was a Hulkamaniac, Elvis Presley.
Such a great lie. Easily proven. Yeah, put that at the top. Elvis was a big fan of mine.
Why not?
Yeah, when I played on a supporting act, me, Ministry, you're right. Aretha Franklin, all the other bands I played for at the time.
But it's that thing, isn't it? There's a little bit of truth in the statement. Like, he did wrestle in Memphis. Obviously, Elvis, he's got certain ties to Memphis and all that kind of thing. It could have happened, but it just bloody well didn't. We move on. Back at WrestleMania 6, this is a direct quote from Hulk this time. I was like, damn, Vince, what if after the finish I point to God, give him the belt and leave? But I do that slow Three Stooges turn. I go back and gaff his Ultimate Warrior's ass and call myself Triple H. Hollywood Hulk Hogan, he said, after Triple H had been a thing, the Hunter Hearst Helmsley version had been a thing in the wrestling for many, many years. Vince McMahon said back to me, that would never work, and you can't be a heel. So he squashed that moment there and then. Again, a bit of truth in there. I reckon it might have been suggested. I reckon it was turned down by Vince McMahon without even a second thought, because I think this was just before, obviously, Hogan's film career was kicking off. But it's the Triple H bit. If he doesn't say that, you might believe it a bit more. But the fact he says, I'll call myself Triple H. Come on. After Triple H has been a 14-time world champion, I think he said this quote. That's where I think this is the biggest liar.
I love the fact that you went, I believe this happened, and Vince turned it down. Excuse what? No.
I'm just saying. No. I reckon there's a chance that he maybe went, well, what if I turn heel? And Vince was like, no.
I reckon Hogan suggested one of those people at match turned heel, and it wasn't Hogan.
Oh, the referee.
No. Hogan makes it clear in this book. It's the great... what's that great quote that I've got written down in case I messed up? Well, the legend becomes fact. Print the legend. More legends than Zelda in this one. He does make it clear that, he did it deliberately to sabotage with Warrior.
Right.
That everyone was looking at him. So, okay, maybe I'll give you a crumb of... what's a word there? Of evidence just to say that he wanted to have all the attention on him either by turning heel or by going, look at me, everybody! Which is what happened.
Yeah. What do you reckon? It's not top tier.
Not top tier because it's again something that happened but told a completely different way. So the yellow one, the yellow and red,
Lovely.
Mustard and ketchup.
Next up, we have Hogan did claim back in his heyday he wrestled 400 days in 1 year. Hogan claimed that since he traveled so frequently between the United States and Japan, the time difference made 400 days a possibility. It is a top tier lie. I don't care what you say. You have nothing to do with the wrestling business. You know this is a lie because we all have a sort of grasp of how time works. Some may say it flies by very quickly. Some may say it goes very slowly, depending on what you're doing at the time. But we can all agree that 400 days in 1 year is not possible.
Oh, maybe that's how he fought all those Pride dudes in the 70s because he flew around so much. Like Superman, he went back in time.
Or Santa Claus. I don't know what you even say about this one. 400 days in 1 year.
So great. That's a lot of play. He was a Taylor Swift of his day.
But taking longer plane journeys than she did in her plane. Fly in 2 minutes, Taylor. What are you doing? Anyway, that's besides the point. It's a top tier one, isn't it?
For over 400 days a year, it's the time difference.
George Foreman Grill, here we go. Hogan claimed that, Hogan, I said Homan there. Hogan claimed on an episode of Hogan Knows Best that the reason he didn't get offered the deal for the George Foreman Grill was because he was out picking his kids up from school. I've got some context out of this one. First and foremost, that's not
he wasn't going to let his son drive home.
Sorry. First and foremost, that's not how deals work. If they want you to be the guy, I'm sure they'll call back again. Secondly, he's mentioned in another interview after the Hogan's Knows Best episode aired that his agent came to him with an offer for a meatball maker or a grill. He wanted the meatball maker and told his agent to pass on the offer for the George Foreman Grill to someone else.
Oh, so even Hogan's contradicted himself.
Yes.
That might be top tier just because Hogan said something like that.
But it's one of the biggest ones of all. In terms of the Hogan fables, this is one of the bigger ones, isn't
It's
it?
so great because, as everyone says, I'm pretty sure it's not how deals work. You answer the phone, that's it.
Yeah.
No, we'll go with, that's it. Apparently, they have the same agent.
Yeah.
Had the same agent, which did inspire, not that Tom Green to say, Hogan's actually supposed to pass away several months ago, but Foreman picked up the phone first. R.I.P. Big George.
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't that long ago,
yeah,
was it?
Right.
Yeah,
so,
that is weird how that's worked out.
Well done, not that Tom Green.
But this is just another case of Hogan saying something and then contradict himself a little bit later on.
Wait, is there a Hogan meatball maker?
I've never seen it, but I have seen the Hogan, what's it called? Like the Thunder Bastard Blitzer or something.
Yeah, the Thunder Bastard. Yeah, I saw that. And someone reviewed it, was it Ashens or someone? And it did seem to be surprisingly effective at doing the thing it needed to do.
I mean, if you were given the proposition of grill, fat, lean, mean, fat burning machine, or whatever the hell it used to be called, the catchphrase, or a meatball maker, what are you picking?
if I'm Hogan and I was in Rocky, and I think he called him Meatball at one point. You go, well, there's the link. Yeah.
Meatballs.
I'd never want to be put in a position. If you were Hulk Hogan, what would you say next? I'm like, no, I'm tapping out.
I should say we've done a video on the channel where we look at the evolution of Hogan's 3 contracts in WCW and all the things he could have put his name on as part of his 98 deal in particular. Go and watch that one now. Ooh. Pluggin's horrible, isn't it? Anyway, next up, he claimed that he came up with the idea for the NWO, but he wanted it to be him, the Booty Man, and the Nasty Boys.
I've not heard this before. Really? That's just his mates.
Yeah. Throw in Brian, what's his face, and he got the full set. What's he called? I've forgotten his name now. He was at the front on SmackDown. He's Brian Blair. Tony Blair.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Jeffrey Blair.
B. Brian Blair, who was Hogan's first opponent. So
Yes.
it was amazing to see him there going, oh, yeah, it's nice that they got that continuity there.
Yeah. Thoughts on this, though?
The NWO. The NWO, where Nash and maybe Bischoff as well have talked about how they had to convince Hogan how to do his stuff.
Well, they didn't know he was going to do it until he actually dropped the leg on Macho Man. They were just like, we've got the contingency, I think, of Sting. I think that was
Right.
the name out there. But they were just like, I think Nash has said he was very, very hell-bent on if it's not Hogan, then we just don't bother because it's just not going to have the same sort of impact.
And
But yeah,
he was right. And yeah, but Nash even said that. Well, Kevin Sullivan said that he kept Hogan away from all the people who are going to go, no, don't do it. It'll be a bad idea. And then Hogan obviously said, but I wanted to turn heel with Warrior all those years ago, but I was told not to. And yeah, obviously it worked out very well. But yeah, apparently the first NWO promo they did together was Hogan going, let me tell you something. And they're like, no, don't do those promos.
Yeah.
So that they cut it all up and obviously very effective. No, a complete lie.
one of the top 2 tiers. He's either so bad it's tremendous or he's off his effing nut for me. What are you saying?
The other one we haven't done yet because
So bad
it feels lonely.
He's got lots of friends. What are you talking about? Anyway, on the Arsenio Hall show appearance this time.
Oh, no.
His direct quote, things I am not a steroid abuser and I do not use steroids. In the same interview, when they look at pictures of Hogan as a child, he just says, well, look, I've always been massive. But then he says in the same interview, I've used steroids to recover from injury and stuff like that. Fantastic scenes.
An amazing appearance because he's like, hey, brother. Well, you know, the way perception in the mainstream is at its absolute lowest and he's just completely unaware. And everyone's aware because of the trials that he's what he's testified in court on oath.
Yeah.
I got that right round, yes. He probably would have wanted to put his hand on this because the only book he really believes in. But yeah, and he just contradicted himself and said, no, I did steroids like 3 times. This one time for injury, this other time. And it was really like that joke where I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to as well. Yeah, amazing. Did that on camera in front of millions. And everyone went, no, you're an idiot.
Especially Billy Graham and David Schultz. I was watching that upstairs.
Oh.
They were just like, I think David Schultz like, I put them in him hundreds of times.
Put it in him.
No, I put them in him, just to clarify. Not it. Careful now.
You think this is fake?
Where are you going?
Oh, maximum.
Yeah,
maximum.
Gotta be at the top. Of course, at the end of the video, like we always do here on the tier list, we'll find out which the best one is, where I'll just say at you, which one's the best, this one or this one, and as fast as fought first. Not like Jack when he takes half an hour on the Reese's piece on the podcast.
Oh, God, let me listen to a few podcasts about other people's opinions first.
Next up, we have Hogan says he was on track for a professional baseball career. Now he's signing with the Major League Baseball teams such as the New York Yankees and the Cincinnati Reds. The direct quote says, I was a fat kid growing up, but I hit more home runs than anyone in West Tampa Little League. Hogan said his talent caught the attention of scouts from the Yankees and the Reds. However, an unfortunate injury ended those dreams. Recalling a pivotal moment, he said, I was playing third base, the bases were loaded, I moved onto the infield, the guy stepped outside the box and hit one off the handle. As I dribbled down the third base line, I ran in. This was the bottom of the 7th inning and the score was 0-0, and I picked it up. As I threw underhanded to first base, I broke my arm. Oh! I guess it can happen. My arm was never the same. There has been stuff to contradict this. I mean, first and foremost, it's just so funny that Macho Man Randy Savage, obviously baseball history. So I reckon this is Hogan trying to one-up him, even though it wouldn't be a one-up. It would just be a one down.
a same.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
And there's also a Little League
gone.
series, Little League World Series database where you can just type in anyone's name who's played.
All right.
And they typed in Terry Bollea, I saw, and nothing appeared.
I don't know anything about baseball or Little League, so I'm going to go with Hogan's opened his mouth. It's a lie. But I also don't have any standing in this. So, give it one of the lower
Looks
ones.
like I forgot to actually make the picture. So, Joel, I'm very sorry. We're going to have to do this on the fly. Can you put it in the yellow one? That's where I reckon it goes. You've tried, but you might as well not have bothered, Terry, because what difference does it make? I've had a hell of a busy week. I forgot to make the picture. We'll move on. Sorry, Joel. Number 15.
Bless you, mate.
I'm the
Wait a minute, you lied about making it. Oh!
I tried, but I failed.
Come on, man. Let's move on from Hogan not playing for the Cincinnati Red and Yellows.
He's a talent scout now. I'm the first one who got eyes on Kevin Owens and pointed the finger at him. When I saw Kevin Owens in NXT, I watched 2 of his matches. I watched him grind and chop meat. I went, there's a brother that's got heat. Everyone I talked to in the WWE wasn't real high on him, like I was. Sorry. The look, a lot of the things he did. So he's in NXT right now. You know, when he walked in and got the championship pretty much straight away. What else? He said, the look, a lot of things he didn't have going for him. They pointed out, I said, no, I'm telling you, you give this guy a chance and he'll get over. He'll grind.
Yeah, you'll grind our gears, Hogan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a different one. I kind of like the idea of Hogan going, yeah, that guy's good, that up and coming for NXT. That just sounds like he's trying to be a company man. Someone said, hey, maybe it's a good idea for you to act like you actually watch the product rather than show up once a year to shill your crap beer.
I found the baseball picture. There we go. We're Gary YouTubing on the fly. They haven't appeared in order. That's my fault.
Let me tell you something. That Gary YouTube, he's going places. Not places OVW.
But what's the point in Hulk Hogan saying he discovered Kevin Owens after he signed for the Performance Center?
To make him look good. Like, oh, that guy's good.
But we all know about the storied career of Kevin Owens.
Hey, you know what film you should watch? Titanic. I hear a lot of people really like that film.
We know the promo that caught the attention of all the powers that be inside, where he cuts the promo on Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here out of jealousy. I hate that guy getting signed first.
I'd want to hear Kevin Owens' thoughts on that, really. How do you think like Hogan really likes you? It's like, oh, thank you.
Kevin Owens hates Hogan, doesn't he?
I don't think he's ever been asked his opinion on him.
I reckon he hates him. I reckon
I reckon he grew up watching him.
Yeah.
But
he looked for Steve, didn't he? Throw a cup in the wall.
That's right, yeah.
A great noise. Where do you reckon?
I was 16. So great.
Do you reckon it's a yellow one again?
Yellow, like the yellow and black of the good old NXT.
Because what is the point? You've tried, but you might as well not have bothered, Terry. Yeah. Next one. The Wrestler director. The film The Wrestler director. Darren Aronofsky offered him the lead role 3 times. Hogan claims he turned down the role because, and I quote, I don't deserve it. Aronofsky has categorically denied that Hogan was ever considered for the role. There's tweets and everything about this from Big Darren.
That's so great. Yeah, Nicolas Cage was originally signed on for it, and then he went, nah, it's not my thing. Then Mickey Rourke, who was born for the part, no.
How high up we're going. Is he just said it because it's called The Wrestler, and he is obviously The Wrestler? It's Hulk Hogan.
Well, like everything else, had a lot of success, mainstream-wise, so he went, well, I'm attached to that, you know. Is that where he met Kevin Owens on the set of The Wrestler?
Probably.
Oh, the idea of Hogan doing that. Well, we know it's BS because he comes off the top rope. Not highest, but just below it.
So bad it's tremendous.
So, yeah, I mean, it is tremendous.
Next up, where are we on this big old dirty list? Anyway, Hogan claimed that he and Antonio Inoki had a match in Japan where Hogan beat him up so badly, he died. But got brought.
Oh, no, wait. Did they died?
But got brought back to life via CPR after the match. But Hulk couldn't work in Japan for a while after because the Yakuza were after him. Now, apparently, there was a match where Inoki was trying to work the people inside the company by pretending he was knocked out. Not dead, but knocked out.
This is true. This is Hogan's one and only victory over Inoki for the first IWGP belt, not the one that became the one that got defended loads. But Inoki lost to Hogan without losing to him by... He goes outside, he gets bopped, he goes into the ring post, and then he is put a stretch and loads of people surrounding him. But I think the thing was that he said he swallowed his tongue, and that was the thing given. Yeah. And I think the decision was given to Hogan via TKO. He's got the belt, he's got the little trophy that goes with it, and it was kayfabed for years. It was only when a referee, whose name escapes me, wrote his autobiography, now it was BS, to set up rematches for Inoki getting his revenge on Hogan. Yeah. But for years, many people thought that was a legit thing. That
really?
Inoki nearly died in the ring. So I'm going to give that lowest tier because, to be honest with you, that's how lots of people in Japan saw it. So I'm going to go, all right, Hogan, you've got enough there. I mean, yeah, that's the closest to truth we've got so far. There,
Fair enough. Big
but again,
Terry.
the fact that Hogan got a victory over Inoki. Again, we could do an hour and a half on Inoki, by the way, on his tier list.
Terry working the marks. Next up, Hogan starred in Mr. Nanny and Santa with Muscles. Hogan claims he rewind Ross. He rewrote both scripts entirely, only to have his writing credits stolen by the Dastardly Writers Guild. He also
What,
claimed,
a union?
He also claimed... Oh, Jesse Ventura says hello. He also claimed that him and Vince McMahon rewrote the entirety of No Holds Barred, and that once again the Writers Guild took those credits as well.
I believe the second one.
Right.
The rumor and innuendo for that is that just over a weekend, Vince and Hogan got together and got some drinks and nose candy and just wrote the whole thing. If you've seen No Holds Barred, you'll go, yeah, completely believable, mate. Lots of dookie in that. The first two, I don't know if you've ever seen those, why you'd want to take any credit whatsoever.
I have seen Mr. Nanny. I had it on VHS. It was on. It must be on terrestrial TV somewhere over here back in the day. Because I had it on recorded VHS. I don't want to go to school. What a tune! The guy getting electrocuted with his metal head.
And he fell out of a third-story building, whatever, landed in the pool, and then his head had a big metal plate.
Yeah, that's how he got the metal plate. Yes, the evil man. He had like the Hogan. It was basically like Hogan's head. It was just like metal plate on the top, but then big long hair sprouting up.
That's
the
right.
side.
The villain's like, I could have played Little League Baseball, but my giant head got in the way. Yeah. I don't understand why Hogan would take credit for Kevin Owens and other stuff that was a success, but then go, yeah, I wrote the script for that.
Yeah.
You didn't.
And if you did, why would you want that credit? Because Mr. Nanny was wank. I've not seen Santa with Muscles. That's when he was getting lean, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
he's like the steroids.
Yeah, so it's so funny. Santa with muscles. You're like, where is that? Is that what he's asked for Christmas? It's the crappiest Hogan's ever looked.
Still more muscles than us combined, though, Matthew. Where do you reckon for this one then? How high up we're going?
I liked Mr. Nanny as a kid.
I liked it.
So I don't want to put it the lowest. But at the same time, ooh.
So
no,
bad
you didn't.
So bad as tremendous, or he's off his effing.
Yeah, that's perfect. So that's tremendous because why would you take credit for that?
Because you're Hulk Hogan and you can. A direct quote this time from the Hulkster when he said, I've been in the ring with some crazy wrestlers. Like I got Brock Lesnar right after he left the UFC. I got in first. He also claimed that he kept an eye on Brock Lesnar while he was in high school, which then caught the attentions of which caught the attentions of the WF back then, who signed him to that development deal. So not only taking credit for Lesnar's career being discovered in the wrestling world, but also having that first match back after his initial UFC run, which wasn't because we all saw the Triple H match, and that's the one it was.
Yeah. The first thing you can go, all right, maybe he's getting his years mixed up because, he's ancient and all those traveling back in time with the 500 days of working a year. Okay, maybe not. But the idea that he's suddenly a talent scout, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
You're completely not.
He's discovered Kevin Owens and now Brock Lesnar. Or the other way around. He knows a wrestler when he sees one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? I like watching NCAA, the Minnesota division. Oh, I love that, brother. Like, I understand if he was like a Florida wrestler, maybe, but like, nah, shut up.
It's not the most egregious one, but it might be like you've tried, but why have you bothered?
Yeah. He writes his partner as well, Benjamin Shelton.
Oh, yeah. What is the story about Brock getting discovered? I'm forgetting the story now. Obviously, it's university, college wrestling.
Yeah, I think it's just collegiate stuff.
Yeah. Probably Jim Ross.
I'm going to go with JR because that was his job.
Yeah.
Or one of the many roles he had.
Around about that kind of time as well. Where's page number 3? Next up, John Belushi sadly died in 1982, but apparently, according to the Hulkster, he partied with him after WrestleMania 2 in 1986.
Get it up there.
And again, it's a little bit of truth to. Well, it's not a little. It's obviously the big issue of the 4 years passing in between the death and that happening.
Oh yeah, apart from that, it's easy.
I reckon from Hogan's perspective, Belushi circled in like the Chicago area or wherever he was circling. Obviously, WrestleMania 2 was in those different kind of places. That's how it could be feasible.
Maybe he's getting confused with Jim Belushi, his brother. But who cares about that?
Where do you reckon for this one?
He's dead from the top.
Where's partying with Belushi? There he is. We're in
Though
the top.
if Hogan had said, I also hung out with Andy Warhol, I'd be like, no, you didn't. Until I saw footage of it going, oh my God, you did.
Little Andy Warhol. Anyway, next up, Hulk Hogan claimed that he was asked to join a startup company known as the UFC. So this is going back to the early to mid-90s. While UFC wasn't nearly as popular as it is today, Hogan said he wouldn't have joined because, and I quote, guys get beat up when the fight should have stopped.
A startup company. So your first UFC was what, 93?
93, 94 kind of time, yeah. So this is around about the steroid trial time. So he might have been looking for employment.
What, you could have tried out the Major League Baseball? I don't understand. No. Shut up. You're doing Thunder in Paradise and making a load of money.
We'll stick it and Get Out of Town, Terry.
Yeah.
Get out of town,
UFC.
Terry.
I'd love to see it. Like,
What's next? Where are we in this list? Speaking about the Raw debut on Netflix appearance when he got booed out the building.
Oh, yeah.
He says, the last time I was in LA, I was Hollywood with the black beard and doing the bad guy thing. The Rock and John Cena can get booed in LA, but when I get booed, there's a whole different reaction media-wise. So he basically was saying it's down to his NWO run, not the extracurricular stuff that people were booing him for. Where do you put this? It's mad that's
why I was booing him. Why were you booing him, Ross?
I just hate real American beer, I guess, or something like that. But it's mad that is his last now like public WWE appearance. Is that night? You think about all the history and whatnot, and that's where he goes out on. Yeah, where you putting in the tier though, Matthew?
It's just still funny. Crowd boos. The Netflix subtitles joined in. So funny, it's funny.
So bad it's tremendous.
That's what I said.
Up in there. While in WCW, Hogan said that a pay-per-view bout between himself and Mike Tyson was supposed to commence. Hogan's excuse as to why it didn't happen: Tyson was too scared. I would say the same thing.
Well, the rumor and innuendo was that in 1990 they were looking to do something with Tyson, and there were the crazy idea for a brief time that, like, oh, maybe we'll have a match against one another, which, like, in what way is that going to work out? And just the idea of Vince McMahon and Don King trying to negotiate, which is just like, okay.
And the idea of Tyson in 1990 following any kind of script, I just can't picture it. When he's in the ring and he's got a bit of a sweat on, he's like, oh, it's good. He would have mauled Hogan.
As a real fight, I mean, obviously we'll talk about it, but, like, Tyson wasn't, obviously still is, a huge wrestling fan, so he would have probably want to do something, but I don't know, maybe you should have just teamed up with Hogan or something, and that would have worked. But no, apparently for a brief period there was the idea of doing that. In 98 I'd be worried because Tyson was off the rails at that point.
But no, he was too scared to wrestle Hogan.
Too scared.
It's one of the top two. So bad it's tremendous, or he's off his effing nut.
You know what the annoying bit is because there were some negotiations in 1990, so that's what we talked about before, just that little bit of truth. So I'm annoyed. I can't give it the highest tier because of that, but put in the yellow tier.
We'll go in there. In the yellow one.
Yeah.
In the yellow one.
Get them balanced.
Hogan claimed he was banned from Letterman, the talk show, of course, because he stopped Letterman from hitting on Linda Hogan. I think he appeared 3, 4, 5, 6 times, somewhere in that region. So he wasn't that arsed about Linda getting hit on by Letterman.
Is he just saying that because he was obviously more Leno than Letterman? Obviously, Leno doing stuff in WCW 98. And
yeah, we'll have to date the interview where he said this.
Wait, also, there was that big issue with Letterman where he was being blackmailed by somebody who says, I'm going to reveal that you're having an affair. And he was having an affair with somebody who worked on the staff.
Oh my! I've never
so
heard this
annoyingly, yeah, I want to know. Does it say what year Hogan
I've
said
not
that?
got it here.
It'd be very funny if Hogan was actually right about not right, but had the again that little bit of crumb. Yeah, damn it, I can't give that the full thing because it's almost like he's having a dig at Letterman. Which is like, all right, Hogan, yeah, you might be all right.
Oh, there's not even a tier 4 this one. It's going to go bottom of the top.
Yeah, have to be the bottom.
Get out of town.
Because he's obviously being pro his mate Leno, and then whoa, the Shagger Letterman.
Hey, that's a shame.
the Joel of the Tonight Show.
Joel has never cheated on anyone, as far as I'm aware. Who's editing this video right now? He might take that out. Who knows?
Yeah, dead men tell no tales. Anyway,
it's a shame that Norm was so Team Letterman, because I imagine I would have heard that one if Norm was against Letterman, not with him.
What the Hogan story?
Yeah, the Hogan about the scandal of Letterman cheating on his wife.
I think Norman would have blinked twice and then just moved on.
Unless Norm did mention it, but I've not seen it. If he did say it, link it down below. I'd like to see it. He says, does Hogan? He was the first one to slam Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3, and the Giant weighed 600 pounds. And Andre, this is the worst bit, Andre would pass away a few days after the slam. The slam tore 18 muscles in Hogan's back. Oh, there's more. Well, this
one just keeps on going, doesn't it?
So the first one, slammed at WrestleMania 3. There's an article on Cultaholic.com which I wrote back in 2018 where I detailed 10 times that Andre was body slammed before WrestleMania 3. Hogan did at least one, if not more. I haven't clicked on the link, but the link is on there somewhere. Hogan has told this story numerous times, and on each different occasion, he's noted different parts of his body were injured. Like, it went from his back to his rotator cuff to his arm, and he was like, oh, I just left it, I didn't get it healed, brother. So that's another thing. The 600 pounds, he's gone up to 690, close to 700 in certain interviews. He's gone down to 650.
That's just inflation, Ross. Not Hogan's fault, the economy.
But there's so much here. The passing away part.
Yeah, he said that on Cribs, I believe, one of the first times. Here's the boots I wore when I slammed Andre. He died.
Well, by the way, I saw that. I might have seen it back in the day, but it's the first time I've seen that clip in many, many years. He's off his face. It is fantastic when he's doing the Michael Jackson crotch grab and shadow boxing Brooke. It's unbelievable. His eyes are all over the shop and his head's
The Hulk's is in the house. Check him out. Yeah, the Andre one's the one that's followed. Oh, also further, I'm not sure if that's included, but they did that the Andre special on HBO, and also was it talked about in the McMahon documentary. Hogan's like, I didn't know until the very day if Andre was going to play ball, brother. I'm like, only you have said that.
Yeah.
No one else is like, oh yeah, Andre's probably messing with him, but like maybe Bruce Pritchard, whatever, has said, oh yeah, maybe, but nah. He's just non-stop lies. But it is also one of the most famous moments in wrestling history. It was the start of the WWE intro for years and years and years. So it's a great moment that I can see Hogan getting away with. Like, as far as they're concerned, yeah, he did do it the first time and the best time. Yeah, so I'm almost inclined to give it to that if it wasn't the fact that he said, oh yeah, then Andre died.
Just a couple of days later. Because it's on that Cribs episode. He's like, oh, here's the world's most famous boots, the boots I slammed on with the giant in. And he passed away a couple of days later, even though it was like 6 years or something.
Yeah. He died in 93.
Yeah.
So
I'll put it in the bottom there.
Yeah.
Next up, where are we? Hulk Rules. Here it is. An album released by Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling Boot Band. One of the most famous tracks from the album was a tribute song called Hulkster in Heaven. According to Hogan, he met a very ill Make-A-Wish kid in England and got him a ticket to SummerSlam at Wembley Stadium to watch him wrestle in the main event. Only issue was, Hogan wasn't at SummerSlam, and he wasn't even in the UK at the time. He was on hiatus from the company when SummerSlam took place. On the contrary, Jimmy Hart and JJ Maguire, who was a part of the Wrestling Boot Band, have both said the song was written in 1994, because obviously this came out in 1995. And excuse me, Hogan later tells the tale of meeting the kid and mentions how bad his BO was and how he was put in not in the front row, but a special part of the area, the arena where all the Make-A-Wish kids were sitting. But it's just like you see 3 or 4 interviews where he talks about this instance and he's always adding stuff on. And it gets to the point where he's just like, this kid, man, he had this BO. It was terrible. You can tell he says he wants to smell like this kid smelled like death, but he didn't want to go that far. And the crucial thing for me is, in all the interviews he did about this song, he never once mentions the kid by name. I mean, if a kid like tugged at my heartstrings that much, and I would remember the name if I was going to write a song about him.
R.I.P. Smelly. Yeah, it's like a bad Fawlty Towers episode where it's like you tell one lie, and you have to keep on telling the lie to cover up the other lie, and then the lies are lies are lies are lies, and it's just you weren't at SummerSlam. A dead kid was there. Sorry, a dying kid, and then when he came back from his match, the kid had died.
Yeah.
He was that close to death. No, don't be in a hospital. Don't be in the hospice. Come backstage at SummerSlam 92.
I referenced this to Matthew a bit earlier before we came down here. It's actually made the blurb for the inside of the album.
Music is not new to Hulk. Yeah. He actually started as a bass player before he turned to professional wrestling. Hulk's return to music was inspired a few years ago by a very sad event. The death of a child in the United Kingdom, who Hulk had visited while the child was still alive. Well, thank you for pointing that bit out. This moved Hulk to write the ballad Hulkster in Heaven and inspired him to work with Jimmy, JJ, and Linda, the members of the Wrestling Boot Band, to create an entire album. Anything else about this story that he's maybe added later on?
What is there? Are you referencing something there?
He's I'm top of my head now, but he's been on stuff like Pebble Mill and things where he claimed
that was the interview, yeah.
Well, it was about the James Bulger incident, which is staggeringly out. Like I can't even put the words.
We can't talk about that today because the details of that murder are horrendous.
Yeah, we're just gonna leave it like that because like the rest of this is kind of ha ha ha. It's like no.
But that happened in '93, I believe, and then 2 weeks later, Hogan's on the Pebble Mill talking about it. But this song wasn't written until I don't know. I think songs get mixed up, and he gets mixed up in his mind about different kinds of stuff.
To say the
obviously,
least.
JJ and Jimmy Hart, and JJ Maguire were both saying this song was written in '94.
Yeah,
which was obviously a year later after Jamie Bulger.
Right. I mean, it's a funny story until you get the James Bulger bit, and you're just like, I don't like you, Hogan.
Yeah. So I'm sure the first 2 lines, I listened to it upstairs for the first time. I'm sure the first 2 lines of that song going about, I read this in the paper, I saw it on the news. So he's not actually met the kid in the song. It's just he's seen it in the paper on the news. So
you ever heard of creative license, Ross? What's wrong with you? Highest tier. There's just so many holes wrong with it. It's like Swiss cheese.
Aye. Direct quote from Hogan this time. We just started going to all these markets and just went into Kansas City. And Harley Race had been living there for, 25 to 30 years. They set up the ring that afternoon. They called me and said, Harley Race showed up up between the afternoon, blind drunk, lit the ring on fire and asked for a job.
I was going to say, yeah, I'll try and remember bits and pieces. There is the story that Harley Race, because he still had some sort of ownership, I'm generalizing because I can't remember all the exact details, he did technically had the right to be in that arena. So apparently just showed up. Allegedly, he just jumped the guardrail and just went backstage, just via the entranceway, I guess so people could see him. Hogan, I believe I'm summarizing here, claims that he was like walking along and someone said, "Hey, Hulk," and turned around and then Race just punched him. And
I mean, so that checks out.
Okay, yes, so far so good. And then he's on the floor and Hogan says something, I don't know, because he's James Bond in his head, I guess, like, Race, I thought, thank you for punching me rather than shooting me, which I thought you would do. And then Race said, well, I brought it with me, but I'm not going to use it on you. So it gets really tense. And then, according to, it's so amazing, Race then put the gun down and goes, "Can you get me a job here, brother?" Harley Race.
This is before or after the ring was set on fire?
That bit about the ring being set on fire I've not heard about, but it'd be funny. Yeah, it's the fire brigade's like, I said, "Can you get me a job here, brother?" The idea that Harley Race would, him punching Hogan, I can believe, but no one else I don't think has backed it up or corroborated it, so maybe not. But the idea that Harley effing Race needed to ask Hogan, "Hey, can you get me a job here?" It's just the up-and-comer Harley Race. Multiple-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
He'd only lived there for 25 to 30 years, so what age? You're putting Harley 35, in 30, 40 sort of age at the time?
I can't look at a picture of Harley and know how old he is. You show me his birth. Congratulations, it's a 30-year-old baby.
Big mutton chops. Where you put... Because this is just...
There's a bit of truth to it, so I can't put it highest. Put the one, the yellow one.
The yellow one.
I can't read. That's why I'm saying the colours. Sorry, I just can't.
You tried, but might as well not have bothered, Terry.
Yeah.
Next up, Hogan told The Undertaker that he had caused permanent damage to his neck by botching a tombstone spot. And Undertaker believed him for the better part of 2 years before finally seeing the tape of the match, which clearly showed Hogan's head came nowhere near the chair that was on the mat inside the ring. Obviously, I think this is an old trick that vets would play against the young whippersnappers, so they would try and do something nice for them in the future, just lie to them and manipulate them, that kind of behavior. I think that's where Hogan's coming from with this kind of thing.
Right.
Taker says that Hulk was mentioned in his neck before the match, so Taker was like, "Don't worry, pal, I'll hold you as tight as I can. You'll come nowhere near the mat." The quote from Hogan upon his head coming remotely near the mat was
the impact of Undertaker's knees to the canvas.
Taker says all he heard was, "Oh, someone call my wife and kids. Someone get my wife and kids on the phone." He was acting as if he was dying. He was on his way out then. Hulk claimed that Taker had him so tight that he jacked his neck and couldn't move at all, even though his neck came nowhere near the floor. So I get maybe the impact if he didn't have him by the neck. He had him by the bottom of the back. Anyway, it's not checking out. He also said he spiked this was a fantastic. I don't know if it was from Hogan Knows Best or some other show he was doing, but it was certainly like 10, 15 years after the incident took place. He said that Taker spiked him on the concrete in Detroit in 1974.
Say again?
Undertaker would have been 9 years old, right? So the direct quote is...
Wow, that's a pretty tough 9-year-old.
Taker spiked me on the concrete in Detroit in 1974. Taker would have been 9 years old then. It's fantastic.
On the concrete?
I
gave you a shoot tombstone.
On top of that, I'll just add to this one. It's not a turn point, but Hogan also claimed he got Undertaker the job with the WWF after shooting Suburban Commando in 1991. He's got the details wrong, mixed up a little bit here, because of course the shooting of the film would have taken place in late 1990, but also obviously Undertaker was in the WWF by the end of 1990, so neither that checks out. But we'll go for the "Oh brother, you got me" was the quote, obviously, that Taker's made famous around the world.
Yes, and Taker's blasted Hogan quite well in that regard. I don't think it was 2 years until he saw the footage. I mean, I think he was pretty much able to see it straight away and going, oh my God, probably looking at ways to defend himself. Let me just look at that clip again. What? Oh, okay. So they definitely showed clips on TV anyway. So
if you're in Undertaker's shoes at the time, what are you meant to do? Like, Hogan was still the guy when that match took place, and obviously Taker's coming up. He was winning the title, wasn't he?
I'd just hide in a box.
A coffin.
It's just...
It's top tier, isn't it?
I don't know why you do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you said there, maybe like, you owe me or whatever, but like that. But like, I don't know what to gain. That was... I wasn't Survivor Series, was it? It was the rematch at this Tuesday No, Hogan won that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Survivor
Undertaker won that
Series,
match. So it would have been Survivor Series. They wrestled a week later
Yeah.
with a broken freaking neck.
Was that planned before the Survivor Series match? I've never got that firmed up. Because obviously Flair gets involved, doesn't he, in the finish, and that's why they have the rematch. In kayfabe, if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, and I'll just do long
You'll
silences.
know at home. Just put down below in the comments if you wouldn't
Yeah.
mind. I forgot I did this, but I did put Andre died days after WrestleMania 3 as its own one because I think it deserved that respect.
Yeah.
It goes straight in the top.
Yeah, he said it repeatedly. Over and over again. And he had rematches for about WrestleMania 4 they wrestle each other.
Yeah.
So great.
There we go then.
wrestled
More
the dead
wrestlers
man.
need to lie because this has been fantastic. The Cavalca of Hogan, in respect to his lies, you cannot deny it.
Yeah, the other one that's not there is the one that doesn't get talked about as much because we still don't know to this day, even when they did a bloody documentary a few months ago about WrestleMania 9, the spectacle, the farce, and everything else. And he shows up with that black hole of an eye.
Oh, I believe him. It was a jet ski incident, man.
And everyone's like, did Randy Savage lamp him? And go, no, but we don't know what happened. I'm like, well, if you don't know what happened, why are you saying no? And then Hogan's claim is that he was on a jet ski, brother, and a big wave came up from underneath him, brother, as opposed to where? The air. And went, wee! And flew off, and this jet ski at 80 miles an hour hit him right in the face, and all it did was give him a black eye. And you go, okay, well, that's a very convoluted way of setting that to set up, and I wasn't there, so I can't say it didn't happen. ... Until you watch the episode of Baywatch he's on and realize that's the plot of the episode. He's just saying that happened. You know that thing in Baywatch where, that was a real life thing.
Hey, the fact it's never been confirmed or denied, we can't put it in the
It's
tier
so
list.
annoying that documentary, decades later, who cares? They're all still kayfabing it. Like, you lying get. So that's one of my personal picks that wasn't on there. Do you have any others that you can think of?
There was a couple, but I don't know. There's a Ricky Choshu one, obviously.
Oh, yeah, he claimed him in Ricky Choshu went at it in a shoot style for about 10 minutes in Japan. You're like, Ricky Choshu. Oh, yeah, mate, sure.
There was the one with a similar one where John Tenter, when John Tenter was the shoot fight against that fella, I've forgotten the name.
Oh, Koji Katao.
That's the one. Apparently, Hogan said he was scheduled to face Katao, but then learned that Katao was going to shoot on him. So he's like, apparently, he said to Tenter backstage, would you mind taking this one for us? Even though Hogan had a match against someone else on the card already.
Yeah.
So what was Tenter doing there? We don't know.
Yeah, and but wait, you absolutely do not bait and switch or change them up. If it's on the posters, it's happening on Japanese cards. So no, shut up.
Right, we need to come to the most important part of the video. What is the biggest lie Hogan's ever told? We start, Matthew, quick, fastest fault first. Metallica and the Stones, that lie, up against Elvis being a fan. Which one's the worst? The most egregious or the best? What do you want to say?
Metallica.
Metallica stays. Metallica are 400 days.
400 days.
400 days goes to the top. 400 days or Foreman Grill?
Oh, days.
400 days remains at the top. 400 days or I don't do steroids?
Oh, come on now. It's like choosing between your favorite child. Steroids.
Steroids is at the top. Steroids against partying with John Belushi.
Steroids.
Steroids or the Hulkster in Heaven?
Oh,
fiasco?
Hulkster in Heaven. Yeah, that one.
Hulkster in Heaven or Oh Brother You Got Me? Undertaker.
Hulkster in Heaven.
Hulkster in Heaven. This is the main event. Hulkster in Heaven or Andre died days after WrestleMania 3.
God. Oh, Sophie's choice. Hulkster in Heaven.
There we go then. The most egregious or the best, whatever you want to say. The top lie of Hogan's lies is the Hulkster in Heaven fiasco that we went through.
Just the idea that the Hulkster
here.
thinks he's in heaven.
So many holes in there. What we've learned today is more wrestlers need to tell lies because this has been fantastic. Up the Hogan lies, that's all I'm going to say. The world would be less without them. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, thank you for all the entertainment.
They are funny, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Because obviously, we're not being disrespectful about the lies. We're celebrating the lies. They're fantastic. Not if you're involved in any of them, but
lying is half the fun of wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for watching. Let us know what you think down below. What's your favorite Hulk Hogan lie? More stuff will come on the channel about Hogan, obviously, because he is one of the biggest names ever in professional wrestling. Probably the biggest ever, Matthew. Thank you for joining me today.
No problem, brother.
How's your first experience of being a Gary YouTube been?
Oh, it's been fantastic. I had the do-rag on specifically to hide my bald spot that can't be shown beyond my contract with Cultaholic. It's been fantastic. And you made me look good, so I'm very happy.
Lovely stuff. Thanks for watching. We'll see you very soon. Goodbye.
Bye, HH.
Only love HH.